place like this?
Palaces are for royalty. We're just common people with a bank account.
Let's step back in time to the golden age of Hollywood, where the timeless charm of Cary Grant still captivates audiences around the world. Known for his style, wit, and charisma, Cary Grant was one of the most beloved actors of his time. But did you know that behind the silver screen, Grant had a hidden retreat in the heart of Palm Springs? Las Palomas, an architectural masterpiece nestled in the foothills of Palm Springs, was a sanctuary for Cary with stunning mid-century modern design, sweeping views, and elegant style. In today's video, we'll take a look at Las Palomas and why it showed Grant's refined taste. So let's talk about Cary Grant's stunning Palm Springs retreat, Las Palomas. This place isn't just a house, it's a slice of history sitting on over 1.5 acres of pure desert charm. Built in 1930, it's a masterpiece of Spanish colonial revival architecture, designed by John Byers. And get this, it's modeled after a 19th century Andalusian farmhouse. The house itself spans about 6,000 square feet and is full of incredible original details: wooden shutters, terracotta tile floors, and even a wood-burning fireplace that feels like it's straight out of a movie set. It's the kind of place that just oozes timeless character. But there's more. The estate also has this sparkling pool surrounded by lush gardens that make you feel like you're in a private oasis. And here's a fun fact: there are 2 casitas on the property, each one with its own unique vibe. One of them was even personally designed by Alfred Hitchcock. Covered in white stucco with royal blue shutters that just pop against the desert backdrop. And those shutters, they're the originals from when the house was built in 1930. The windows are big and bright, flooding the space with natural light. It's the kind of house that instantly feels warm and inviting. Inside, there's so much to take in. Exposed ceiling beams, French doors, terracotta tile floors. These details give the house so much character. And let me tell you about the great room. It's massive, 40-foot ceilings and all kinds of charm. Even the bathroom tiles are original, and the custom cabinets have been there since day one. It's like stepping into a time capsule, but in the best possible way. But how did Cary Grant find this place? Back in the late 1950s, he and his wife at the time, Betsy Drake, attended yoga classes with Gene Farrer at the nearby Racket Club. Gene said Cary fell in love with Las Palomas the second he saw it. He was big on nature, he felt it renewed his spirit. And this house, surrounded by eucalyptus, palm and fruit trees, with stunning mountain views from nearly every window, was exactly what he needed. He even loved taking care of the trees himself. For someone as glamorous as Cary Grant, he was happiest in a simple, peaceful space like this. Las Palomas wasn't just a retreat for Cary though. It became a gathering spot for friends and co-stars. Grace Kelly, Sophia Loren, Frank Sinatra, and even Howard Hughes spent time here. Hughes was actually Cary Grant's best man when he married Betsy Drake. Cary also hosted Marines from the 29 Palms base for events at the estate. He really loved sharing this place. Over the years, the house went through a lot. Cary lived here for 18 years before selling it in 1972. After that, it changed hands a few times, including being turned into a private health resort by bodybuilder Frank Zane in the 80s. But by the time Dr. Jane Cal Smith bought it in 1998, it was in a state of decline: dead trees, broken balconies, and blocked chimneys. She spent an incredible 11 years restoring it and didn't cut any corners. Every detail was carefully researched to match the original design, from the ironwork to the period-appropriate furnishings. She even added a great room below an upstairs addition, complete with floor-to-ceiling glass doors that open to the gardens and pool. Today, Las Palomas stands as a stunning reminder of Cary Grant's love for nature, simplicity, and timeless beauty. The current owners have continued the restoration, right down to tracking down vintage light fixtures and custom roof tiles. If you ever visit, you'll notice Cary's initials on the front gate, along with a plaque honoring him and the architect. After stepping away from the spotlight, Cary Grant didn't just fade into retirement like some might think. No, he pivoted into business, and not in a half-hearted way. He actually joined the board of directors at Fabergé. And this wasn't one of those honorary titles where someone just shows up for the photo ops. Cary was all in. He went to meetings, traveled the world to represent the brand, and worked to grow the company. Now, his salary might not have been anywhere near what he made as one of Hollywood's biggest stars, just $15,000 a year. But Cary didn't seem to mind. He liked being part of something meaningful, and it turns out he was good at it. By 1968, Fabergé was pulling in about $50 million in annual revenue, an 80% jump since 1964. And some people at the company credited Cary with helping make that happen. Here's a sweet deal. His position at Fabergé came with access to a private plane, and he often used it to visit his daughter, Jennifer, wherever her mother, Diane Canyon, was working. It just goes to show how much of a hands-on dad he was. His business career didn't stop there. In 1975, Cary joined the board of MGM. By 1980, he was actively involved with MGM Films and MGM Grand Hotels. He was even part of the big promotional push when the MGM Grand Hotel opened in Las Vegas in 1973. Over the years, Cary kept adding to his resume. He joined the boards of Hollywood Park, Western Airlines, which later became part of Delta, and even the Academy of Magical Arts. Yep, the Magic Castle in Hollywood. It seems like Cary Grant was always curious, always willing to try something new, and always finding ways to stay connected to the world around him. Cary Grant's love life was as dramatic as some of his movies. He was married 5 times, and let's just say each chapter had its fair share of ups and downs. His first marriage was to actress Virginia Cherrill in 1934. They tied the knot in London at the Caxton Hall Register Office. But things didn't last long. Just over a year later, they divorced, and it was messy. There were accusations, a bitter court case, and plenty of headlines. Virginia even asked for $1,000 a week from Cary's Paramount salary, which back then was a staggering amount. After that, Cary kept busy both on and off the screen. He dated actress Phyllis Brooks in the late 1930s, and the two seemed pretty serious. They even vacationed together in Europe, visiting Italy and staying at a Roman villa owned by Dorothy Taylor Dentiste de Frasso. But by the end of 1939, their relationship had fizzled out too. His second marriage, though, is one people still talk about. In 1942, Cary married Barbara Hutton, one of the richest women in the world. She inherited $50 million from the Woolworth fortune. Because of her wealth and fame, they earned the nickname Cash and Cary, which, let's be honest, is pretty clever. But Cary was determined to prove he wasn't after her money. He even signed a prenuptial agreement waiving any financial claims. They divorced in 1945 but stayed on good terms. In fact, they were said to be the fondest of friends even after the split. Then came Betsy Drake. Cary married her on Christmas Day in 1949, and it was his longest marriage. The two co-starred in a couple of movies together, and for a while it seemed like they had a real connection. But by 1958, their relationship started to unravel, and they divorced in 1962. During their marriage, though, there was some drama. Cary had a well-known affair with Sophia Loren in 1957. That definitely didn't help things. Then there was Diane Canyon. They married in 1965 at the Desert Inn in Las Vegas, and a year later, Cary became a dad for the first and only time. His daughter, Jennifer, was born in 1966, and she became the light of his life. Cary often called her his best production, which is just about the sweetest thing ever. In 1981, Cary Grant found love again, this time with Barbara Harris, a British hotel public relations agent who was 46 years younger than him. The two met back in 1976 at the Royal Lancaster Hotel in London. Cary was there for a Fabergé conference, and Barbara was working at the hotel. What started as a friendly connection grew over time, and by 1979, Barbara decided to move to California to be with him. Friends of Cary often said Barbara brought out the best in him. She had a calming, positive influence, and it showed. Even Prince Rainier of Monaco once said that Cary had never been happier than during his last years with Barbara. It's lovely to think that after all the glamour, heartbreak, and searching, Cary spent his final chapter truly at peace and surrounded by love. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on our latest videos. I'll see you in the next one.